A fight over D.C.'s autonomy is brewing again on Capitol Hill. In one corner, House Oversight Committee Chair Republican James Comer. In the other, the D.C. Council. And now caught somewhere in the middle, DoorDash. CityCast D.C. reporter Ben Brasch has been reporting on the back and forth over D.C. tax laws. He joins us now to help make some sense of all of this. Ben, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. So before we get to DoorDash, can you start with the basics on this? What is James Comer proposing here, and how would it change the way D.C. Council works?
So as it stands right now under the current Home Rule Act and, congressional oversight, anything that the D.C. Council passes goes to Congress, and then Congress has the ability to push through a disapproval or not of it. What this bill would do is kind of flip that on its head. For anything to pass in regards to tax increases or increased fees in the district, it would have to go for an approval by both chambers of Congress.
Oh, OK. That is a big change. So Congressman Comer and Mayor Bowser have been at odds at times. We've seen this. They've also worked together, for example, on the stadium deal for the Commanders. But soon a new mayor will take over. Janice Lewis-George is the Democratic nominee. We know that means she's a heavy favorite. How is this all connected to her rising profile?
When he was asked about it, that is Representative Comer, and in statements before when he was announcing the bill, he said, we have to protect D.C. from these socialists that are trying to take over the district. And Janice Lewis-George, the presumptive mayor, current council member, is a Democratic socialist, so he views that as a great threat to the district.
So there's going to be more about that relationship in the future as well. Let's get back to DoorDash, Ben. The Free DC movement now wants DC residents to boycott the delivery service because it's siding with Comer. What is DoorDash's position here?
So indeed, Free DC wants people to delete the app from their phone. And the reason DoorDash has gone involved is I talked about the taxes, and then I mentioned at the very end that there are fees as well. So what Comer and the Republicans are trying to protect against are these skyrocketing of fees that people might have to pay that would hurt consumers and businesses. And DoorDash gets involved because there was a 20-cent fee that was added to food deliveries. So that includes DoorDash, it includes Uber Eats and all the others within the district. So DoorDash fought that and lost. And here they are again trying to make a principled stance against increased fees.
DoorDash is very popular. Is this going to amount to anything, you think, Ben?
I would never bet for or against what Congress is going to do. I think that's throwing money down the drain. But I think it has a pretty uphill battle in the Senate. I think it would certainly make it through the House. That's pretty reasonable to assume. But I think it might not make it through the Senate.
All right. CityCast DC reporter Ben Brasch, thanks for joining us and helping us understand all of this.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Democratic nominee for D.C. Mayor Janice Lewis-George responded to Congressman James Comer's bill proposal on X, writing, quote, let the people of D.C. govern D.C. We've balanced our budget on time for each of the last 30 years. The last time the federal government could say that was 2001.